internet exchanges in the Southeast. We have exceptional weather, great shopping, fine dining, a symphony orchestra, one of the largest Shakespearean theaters in the world, and 90 city parks. The capital of dreams. Proud of our past, poised for the future.
Visit DreamMontgomery.com today.
Pike Tactical, the area's only 5-star gun store, loves hunters. Whether it be dove, deer, or turkey season, Pike Tactical carries popular brands of rifles, shotguns, and pistols, plus their prices often beat the big box stores. They also stock hard-to-find hunting ammo every day. Pike Tactical is a veteran-owned and family-operated business who put their customers first. For hunting rifles, shotguns, and ammo, shop Pike Tactical. Now open Monday through Saturday on Chantilly
check
Parkway.
1 2 check 1 2 1 2 check.
And at piketactical.com.
Shane is here from United, #1 in the River region when it comes to your indoor comfort. What's going on at United?
With football season,
Bill, we recording, brother?
Make sure your home is.
We are.
Thank you.
Don't let your game day company be uncomfortable in your home. If your system has been struggling, go ahead and get it tuned up or get a free estimate to replace it.
A tune-up on your system now will probably get you through the rest of the year and save
check
you a major
1 2 check.
the winter when you need it the most.
Sign up for a United maintenance plan for all your fall and spring tune-ups and get a 15% discount on any service repair throughout the year.
Like we always say, a tuned-up system is running at full efficiency, which means lower utility bills, better indoor comfort, and a longer lifespan.
Score a touchdown when you call United today at 262-0247. That's 262-0247.
Or visit UnitedHeating.net and check us out on Facebook.
Alabama certification number 84560.
Golf season is still in full swing, and we are lucky to have the best public golf courses in America right here in the River region. Capitol Hill in Prattville is home to 3 championship courses and has annually hosted the PGA and LPGA tours. If you don't have time to play, take advantage of the best practice facility in the Southeast with Capitol Hill's 35-acre practice facility that features multiple teeing areas, 3 practice putting greens, and 3 practice bunker complexes. Best of all, as an Alabama resident, you can purchase the Trail Card and receive up to 50% off of regular price green and cart fees, as well as 15% off of selected merchandise and range balls. To book your tee time at Capitol Hill, one of the gyms on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, go online to rtjgolf.com or call the golf shop at 334-285-1114.
We need to leave the helmet with either him or me.
1114. Capitol Hill in Prattville should be your #1 golf destination.
Want to tell you about my friends at Southern Orthopedic Surgeons. I've covered sports in the River region for 4 decades, and Southern Orthopedic Surgeons provides the absolute best advanced treatment options for orthopedic injuries and disorders. With locations throughout the Tri-County area, the doctors and surgeons at SOS are dedicated to keeping you in motion. And if you need an immediate evaluation with no appointment necessary, an SOS doctor is ready to serve you at the new Ortho Now Clinic in East Chase. Southern Orthopedic Surgeons with locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, and Tallahassee.
107.5 is W298BC Montgomery, ESPN The Ticket. The best sports in the Montgomery area can be found on WTXK, Pike Road, Montgomery, ESPN The Ticket.
Come on.
Welcome to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. Each week, Coach Shook will offer an in-depth look at his program as the Patriots again battle for championships. The show is brought to you by Sexton Tire, McKee and Associates, Nuke's Eatery, Halstead LLC, Hidden Oaks in Pike Road, and the Pike Road Patriot Fund. Get in touch with the show by calling 334-517-1210 or texting the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now, here with Coach Shook is Doug Amos.
And good Thursday evening, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. I am Doug Amos, and we are happy tonight. A big region win last Friday night at Wetumpka against the Indians. A dominant performance by your team. First off, good evening. Hope you're well. Hope practice. Hope all the hay's in the barn.
Hay is in the barn. Yes, I've been pleased with our practice this week, and I appreciate you. I'm very proud of how our players played on Friday night. You know, had a chance for Wetumpka to take momentum right before halftime, but our players responded well and executed well.
You know, it's really funny. Jimmy Perry did the scoreboard show with me that night, and he was talking. He was going, okay, what I hope Granger does is get a first down and get to the point where you're kind of in control of the clock. It's exactly what you did. Then you went for the jugular. You got it. You score right before the half on fourth down. Then Jordan King takes the second half kickoff all the way. So 2 touchdowns in basically 20 seconds.
Yes, it was really, really big for our momentum going into halftime and then starting the second half. And, again, that's something that we hadn't done the first 2 weeks. There's a lot of different variables into that, but our boys are getting better each and every week, and I'm just excited of another opportunity to play this come Friday.
And we'll talk about the Lanier game there at Pike Road tomorrow night, but first off, let's talk about the atmosphere. It was a great atmosphere.
It was,
Pike Road had most of their side packed, if not all the way packed.
Right.
Wetumpka had a somewhat of a late arriving crowd, but by the middle or early first quarter, their side was packed. It's what we want to see on Friday nights in high school football.
Absolutely. In Central Alabama, 6A football, very, very excited that our boys were able to play in that environment. The facilities at Wetumpka that city has built and provided for that community is second to none. They're in a pristine location. They are not landlocked. They have everything that a high school in this area would ever want. And so, again, I'm glad that our boys got to see that. I'm glad that our boys got to play in that environment. That is definitely a playoff environment. It's a round 1, round 2 on the road environment, and I think our kids responded well.
You sat here on the program a week ago and said that Nate Rogers will be tough to handle.
Yes.
And he was. He had over 150 yards rushing, a couple of touchdown runs,
Yes.
but for the most part, you kept him away from breaking the game open and dominating the game.
Right, and so we knew that a year ago the game was close at halftime, and Nate took over for the third and fourth quarter and made it a one-score game going into really the last minute of the game. Well, this year was a little different story. He had some success, early in the first half, but after the third quarter, we didn't really hear from him. And so my hat's off to Coach Lee and the defensive staff and our boys who executed well. But Nate's one of the best athletes we'll see in the regular season, and he really wasn't a factor in the second half.
All right, so let me ask you this, because we've talked about this the first 2 weeks. Marist in week 1, Tuscaloosa Hillcrest, or Hillcrest Tuscaloosa in week 2. Do you feel like your team would have been as prepared to play as well as it did in the region opener had you not played the high-quality competition that you played the first 2 weeks?
Absolutely not. I think our boys and our staff, I think we saw, some issues because of who we played. And, the level of competition, playing a top 5 team in the state of Georgia and then another top 3 team, in the state of Alabama, that is something that our boys, we have seen that speed, we've seen that physicality, and that's something we've addressed in practice. And I think it's apparent that our boys have gotten better each and every week.
What would you say if you had to list like a couple, 3 things that, and looking at the film from the Wetumpka game, that you feel like you've most improved in? What areas in comparison to Marist and Hillcrest Tuscaloosa have you improved in the most?
Well, we've improved, but there's still room to grow. We've improved in physicality. We have improved in tackling. And that's, physicality on both sides of the ball. And we've improved in tackling. I think those 2 things are what we have to continue to focus in on.
How do you, at practice, emphasize physicality? I'm just curious. You can tell them all day long, right, we need to be more physical. We need to be more physical. How do you adapt to that? How do you practice that?
Well, it's something that we as a staff are intentional about, and we do practice in full gear, which the state allows us to do, and we do that early in the week, but then we kind of taper off. But early in the week, we make things competition based and throughout practice, and we do good on good, meaning our starting offense versus our starting defense, and there are things that we put on it. As far as who gets to eat breakfast first, or who gets off the field first, or who's able to do this or that, and so there are carrots that we dangle in practice to try to make it fun for our players to compete.
I love it. I absolutely love it. 41-18 was the final from the Wetumpka Sports Complex. Last Friday, I suspect you're thinking the atmosphere on your side of the stands tomorrow night will be equally energetic.
Absolutely. I know we've already had a home game. It was a little rainy. I think the weather kept some people out. It was still a great game, still a great environment. I thought our fans did an exceptional job of coming out despite the weather. But, I expect for good weather tomorrow night. I expect for a good crowd. I know we have youth league cheer and football coming out, so I expect for a big crowd tomorrow night. A lot of future Patriots will be on the field pregame, and I just think that will create a great environment for Pike Road moving forward.
You know what else is going to create a great environment for Pike Road moving forward, especially in the next 24 hours? The fact that it's going to be 78 degrees at kickoff.
That's it.
That's what's going to be good about it.
Go Patriots.
And by the time you guys have kicked them all around the field, it'll be 72 degrees. So that's a good start to the night as far as I'm concerned.
It is, absolutely. It was a little warm last Friday. My hat's off to our strength coach, Stuart Lowry. Wetumpka had a couple of guys cramping in the second quarter.
It was muggy.
It was muggy. Our kids, I thought, did a great job of pushing through the muggy weather. I thought, I think the score indicates how our guys were prepared.
And looking at some of the stats, and we're going to have some guests coming up here a bit later on in the program. Excited to have Max Seaman back in here, the senior linebacker. He's the guy that has a ring. He can share what it's like to win a state title, and his leadership is immeasurable. He was on that team. We're going to have him in here tonight. Jordan King, the kickoff return for the touchdown, made the play that I think kept the momentum on Pike Road's side. And then Jamichael Jones, your running back, 94 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Only a sophomore, his first year at the 6A level of football. And I was telling Jimmy Perry, I'd gone to the car to get something that I'd left in there, and it was when he had a run down the sideline on your sideline, and he just absolutely pulverized a guy that thought he was going to tackle him. It was like, I'm going to run right over you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And for that to be a freshman that has that mentality, I know you're looking for a lot more of that type stuff.
We are, and he had right at 94 yards in the first half. He finished with a little over 100 for the game. Proud of him, but that's a testament to our offensive line, and I think Jamichael will be the first to tell you those 5 up front blocking
102.
for him.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Those 5 blocking for him really paved the way, and that's part of the physicality that we opened the segment with, and that's something I'm proud of. For him being a sophomore, for Jordan being a junior, and Mac being a great senior leader for us. Really, really thankful to have those guys on our side.
He's not here tonight, but how about Kason Myers? He was named the Larry Puckett Chevrolet River Region Player of the Week. He was 15 of 21 for 243 yards, passing 3 touchdowns. Another freshman stepping up for you. That's phenomenal.
Yes, and again, when a team has to load the box to stop a guy like Jamichael, it creates a lot of one-on-one matchups for a guy like Jordan King, and when our offensive line can protect and give a guy like Kaysen time, it just creates a lot of issues for a defense. And so I think Kaysen will be the first to tell you that, those accolades, he's deserving of them, but those are team accolades, and he is just the recipient on behalf of Pike Road football.
So on the program tonight, senior Max Seaman, junior Jordan King, sophomore Jamichael Jones, talking about the Patriots' big win over the Indians of Wetumpka, 41-18 last Friday night in Wetumpka. We'll take a break. We're also going to be talking a whole bunch about, with some of these young men, we're going to talk a bunch about Lanier tomorrow night. Get your thoughts about that one. Another team coming in from the River Region, this one to your house, however. And give me some initial thoughts about that before we slide out.
Lanier is a very big, physical, fast football team, and it's going to take all hands on deck to make sure that we execute to the level that I know we can. Those poets they have big play potential, and if it's something that we're not having great eye discipline on the defensive side, if we're not executing at a high level on offense, those guys can give us a lot of issues.
Well, he smoked my alma mater last week, so I need you to take it out on him.
Yes, sir.
You can tell him this 7th touchdown is for Doug and Charlie. We were very discouraged when we saw this score on Saturday morning. All right, so again, tickets available at gofan.co.
Yes.
There to get tickets to tomorrow night's game at Pike Road, but you also sell them at the gate.
We do.
At Pike Road.
Yes.
You also take cash.
Yes.
You don't have to put it on a credit card like some schools are doing it, so that gives them more options, right, Coach?
Absolutely. So, yes, please come. I expect a great crowd, expect a great environment, cash at the gate, cards, GoFan if you want to prepay. All forms are accepted for sure.
All right, here's the deal, too. Michael Hennig's here. He's the fundraiser for the Pike Road Quarterback Club. We've already talked about LSU and Mississippi State.
Did we?
They played Miss LSU Saturday. Did you know that?
Yes.
Do you even keep up with the college schedule yourself?
I try to.
I'm sure. So that's a big game. We talked about it. But he handles all the fundraising for the Pike Road Quarterback Club, I believe.
Yes.
So this is what I want to do. I joined last week. Do you remember?
Yes, I do remember.
I joined the Pike Road Quarterback Club. I got an offer to anybody in the restaurant right now. The first person that can prove to Michael that they've joined the Pike Road Quarterback Club, I will make a $100 donation to the Pike Road Quarterback Club.
Give me some. I'll take it.
But somebody's got to do it. If they don't do it, then the $100 goes by the wayside until next week. We'll roll that over. Yeah. If you want to know how to do it, there's your man. He can walk you through it. But a $100 donation to the Pike Road Quarterback Club, if indeed somebody joins tonight before 7 o'clock. Jason Isbell, my good buddy, that is now on the board at Faulkner and getting it done. He says, great win last week, Coach. Looking forward to a packed-out stadium tomorrow night. I believe he's your PA announcer.
Jason does a great job. I've met Jason. We have a good relationship with Jason. And,
we had somebody that got there in line to join.
Yes, they took you up.
I want to see a name. Where do I find out who this is?
He needs more proof.
No, I don't. I really don't. I just want to give him Shelton.
Yes.
Mr. Shelton.
Yes.
Is the winner. $100. I'm going to write a check to you right now for the Pike Road Quarterback Club.
Ben, his son, plays linebacker for us. One of the toughest young men. I know he broke his hand a couple of weeks ago, finished practice with a broken hand, and he'll be playing for us tomorrow night.
One thing, and I was just talking to some people here, Turner Faulkner was telling me, your statistician, the one young man we're going to have on here, I guess it's Mac, I think, that had an issue last offseason. Was Mac, right? That had the hunting accident?
Yes, he did.
You need tough guys like that on your football team.
There's no question.
I mean, this is a kid that hurt himself, I think, had to crawl out of the woods.
Right.
And was on the shelf for a while. Yet where is he this year?
Yeah.
He's
a
knocking heads off.
Starting inside linebacker.
Exactly.
I I think football is the best sport to promote and create and facilitate not only physical but mental toughness, and that's something that these young men need to be successful.
What about Sports Talk Radio? What's that do for me? What's that good at creating?
You need mental toughness for that, for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
All right, we will now take a break. I'm a man of my word. I'm going to write a check and hand it to Hennig over there. And notice I'm not going to write it to Michael Hennig. That would probably not be a good idea.
Pike Road Schools.
Pike Road Schools.
That's it.
I'm on it. And I'll put Quarterback Club down there in the bottom left. So we're good. You bet. So we got another member tonight.
That's right, Doug.
And we got a donation tonight.
That's it.
Could that possibly encourage you to bring the helmet next week?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So we really need the helmet.
Appreciate you calling me out, Doug.
Well, I didn't need to. I mean,
yes,
its absence is, but hey, it's a win, so I'll take the hit on that. But do you have one that's not being used, or are all helmets in use?
All helmets are being used.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
So what we need, do we have any mini helmets? I want to buy a Pike Road mini helmet.
Yes, we need them.
Do what? They sell at the ball game. I'm a little busy Friday nights, but I'm going to give somebody some money. How much do those go for? We can expense one. We can expense one.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be.
Brooks, Zach are on the quarterback club with Michael.
That is awesome, man. I'm going to tell you something. It's an active quarterback club, and you can't win at this level without one.
You need support.
You know that.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a break. We're going to bring in, first off, the senior linebacker, Max Seaman, will join us. We'll talk about the Wetumpka win and what to expect tomorrow night against the Poets. Stick around. It is Patriot Talk. We're out here at Gribb and Isabel Anderson's place, the market at John Hall store, having a big time with Coach Granger Shook on ESPN The Ticket.
Come discover a more familiar way of life in Pike Road's newest development, Hidden Oaks. Build your dream home in nature without all traffic. Located just minutes from the Pike Road Town Center, Publix, restaurants, and additional shopping, you won't have to go far for anything you might need. Hidden Oaks features incredible access to I-85 and Vaughn Road while still retaining its profound beauty and privacy.
Let me know when you get those things like that. That was good.
With Site Pros getting the lots ready to build on, claim your spot now. To find out more about Hidden Oaks, go to hiddenoaksal.com.
Sexton Tire Pros is home of the hassle-free guarantee. They make taking care of your tires simpler by offering a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and major brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. For whatever you drive, Michelin is a tire to fit any need. Sexton Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. Find out more online at sextontirepros.com.
I hit a bump in the road, I got a nail in my tire. The muffler is loose, the steering no power. At Sexton Tire Pros,
better get Mac over here.
Where everything we do rotates around you. Sexton.
The Pike Road Patriot Fund's goal is to raise money to support arts and athletic programs at Pike Road School. Over $100,000 has been raised over the years, and the monies have contributed to almost every sport and student organization. Thanks to the people attending and sponsoring the annual Crawfish Boil, which makes it easier to provide much-needed support to teachers and coaches. Visit www.prpatriotfund.com for more information.
It's year 7 of the Pig Enterprises Scoreboard Show. This is Doug Amos inviting you to join me and special guests each Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WTXK ESPN The Ticket in the River Region. You can listen online as well on roundtablebroadcast.com. We'll have a great time on remote at different high school games and in the studio. It's going to be a great year. Follow all your high school football scores right here on ESPN The Ticket.
Fueled by the vision of 3 generations of leaders with backgrounds in engineering, construction, and finance, Halstead has left an indelible mark of quality on the retail and multifamily landscape throughout the Southeast for more than 70 years. Halstead has built a diversified real estate portfolio across 14 states, featuring some of the best-known name brands in America. Call Halstead Contractors at 334-288-2330. Halstead is a proud supporter of Pike Road Patriot football.
Eat Eating healthy has never tasted this good. Stop by Nuke's Eatery and discover over 80 delicious 600-calorie options. Pair our succulent shrimp po' boy with a cup of tomato basil soup, or stay warm and satisfied with a hearty bowl of corn and crab chowder. Whatever you're craving, you can find it for under 600 calories. Because we're happy to cut calories, but not flavor. Only at Nuke's Eatery.
Stop in at Nuke's Eatery, Montgomery, at Taylor and Vaughn.
You're listening to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. To be part of the show, call 334-517-1210 or text the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now back to Coach Shook and Doug Amos.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are at the market at John Hall Store. It's Gribb and Isabel Anderson's place, and they have been congenial host for us all year long with this program. Yes. I'm pretty excited about being here, and what a great crowd we have in there tonight. They've got some live music outside. It's a beautiful night.
Absolutely.
The Patriot Talk show in here till 7. Then a lot of people will go out there and listen to some music.
Absolutely.
Coach.
It's just a great environment here in Pike Road, Alabama, and very, very thankful that Gribb has bent over backwards and allowed us to use his restaurant to host this.
Let's talk before we bring in Max Seaman, and he's here, senior linebacker for the Patriots. We've talked about this in the past, but you got a guy on your team that somewhere in his house he's got a state championship ring.
That's right.
From 2 years ago. I think it's important to have the been there, done that example in the locker room. He knows what it takes. He played an integral part on that defense, but had an interception in the state championship game.
Yep.
So how important is that? What kind of asset is it to have a guy that has been down the path toward a title?
It's huge. It's invaluable, and it's one of those things that, as we progress in the season and our team continues to improve, and we are able to get to where I think we can. We'll have guys like Mac, we'll have guys like Sid, we'll have guys like Malik and Cody who have been there and done that, and they can lead by example, and they can say, hey, follow me because I've done this before.
Let's bring him in. Max Seaman, senior linebacker, with us here. And Mac, hey, I think one of the positions on a football field that requires the most physicality and the most toughness is your position.
Yes.
You're seeking out the football. But before we get there, I got to know, what happened when you were injured, and how much physical and mental fortitude did you have to recover and to get out of there, man? This happened, I think, right after the Homewood game, or thereabouts, and it was pretty bad. So what all did it take inside of you to get back?
It took a lot to get back from that. It was 2 days after we lost to Homewood. I fell out with me, my cousin, and myself both fell out. I was in the hospital for like 3 or 4 weeks. I lost 30 pounds. I was weighing like 160. I'm back to like 195. It took a pretty long time.
You missed a lot of school.
I missed the rest of November and December. I went back in January. I was doing better, but it really took a good 3 or 4 months to be able to start working out again and just getting physically back in shape. And mentally, I was still there because it didn't really affect me anymore after I got out of the hospital. Nothing really hurt anymore other than the broken ribs, but I was fine mentally.
Yeah, nothing but broken ribs. I've had that happen to have them. It feels like you're continually getting shot by a pistol. So I'm good for that. No doubt in your mind that you were going to continue to play? There was never any I wonder if I should or if I shouldn't. What was the talk there maybe within your family?
Well, I talked with my dad about it, and I didn't really talk about it. I knew I was going to play if I could recover fully, and after knowing that over time, everything would heal fine because the collapse lung that I had, they had to have that fine when I got out of the hospital to let me leave
That's not in your notes there.
Yeah, no. He's talking about like that's like a hangnail.
Right.
You know, like the paper cut on my finger. Well, it had the collapsed lung, but so literally you've got cracked ribs and a collapsed lung, yet one of your motivations, I'm sure, was to get back in that weight room, get back in shape, and get back on the football field for the Pike Road Patriots.
Yes, sir, it was. And I started working out back in February of this year. I also had a lacerated liver at the same time, too.
Okay, Mac, we appreciate you being with us tonight. It's been a great visit. No, seriously.
Need to call the doctor?
He's just throwing these things out like they're nothing.
Where'd you fall from?
It was a lock-on.
The moon? How far did you fall?
It was at least 30 feet.
Good. You're a walking miracle. So literally, in all seriousness, as a senior and as a leader, I'm not saying use that, but my golly, if they're not, maybe you gotta every now and then something's going slower than it needs to at practice. You need to stick your head there and go, hey man, let me tell you what I've been through over the last 10 months. This ain't nothing.
Ain't no doubt.
I mean, did you know all these things?
No, I did not know about the collapsed lung or the lacerated liver. I mean,
exactly.
That is very.
Probably in the next 20 seconds, he's going to tell me about the broken leg, which was going on too. Let's talk about Friday night. Great atmosphere, Mac, over there at Wetumpka. You guys really took control. Then they tried to make a run right before the half. The 2 touchdowns late first half, early second half were huge. What do you think that result and that performance means for this team?
I think that performance means a lot for us and the team. Starting off 1-0 in the region is big. Knowing that you already have one up on most of the other teams in the region. And I don't know, it just really helps just mentally and physically for everybody on the team after not winning the first 2 games. Because it kind of hurt us. But
do you feel like this team's better because of those first 2 games?
Yes, sir. I think it means a lot that we know what it's like to lose. And
it's no fun.
It's not fun. And I think that'll help us build on throughout the year.
That is awesome, man. All right, so you got a chance to go 2 up tomorrow night.
Yes,
Lanier comes in there. That's another region foe. Talk about that opportunity in front of your home crowd in your own backyard.
Yeah, it's a big game, second region game. It's at home. You never want to lose at home, and we lost at home 2 weeks ago. And I think it's motivation for us to play against Lanier at home. And they're a pretty decent team, but I think if we just do the right things and come out strong and finish strong, that everything will be all right and we'll win this game.
Well, it's my pleasure to meet you
and
to have you on this program. Oh, good heavens alive. You got a tough nut in that one, Coach.
We do, and again, I'm just extremely proud of Mac and the young man he is, and he's a great ambassador for our program. He is a very tough young man to go through what he's been through, on and off the field, to play inside linebacker in 6A football. That is nothing to scoff at. So he is a great leader for us, and I'm glad that Mac is a Pike Road Patriot.
Jordan King will join us when we return. Mac, thank you. That's Mac Simmons, senior linebacker. Jordan King, he was the guy that lit the match to start the second half. That long kickoff return for a touchdown set the table for a big Pike Road victory. We're back with more Patriot Talk right after this.
Fueled by the vision of 3 generations of leaders with backgrounds in engineering, construction, and finance, Halstead has left an indelible mark of quality on the retail and multifamily landscape throughout the Southeast for more than 70 years. Halstead has built a diversified real estate portfolio across 14 states, featuring some of the best-known name brands in America. Call Halstead Contractors at 334-288-2330. Halstead is a proud supporter of Pike Road Patriot football.
Nuke's Eatery offers catering, from box lunches to full platters and whole cakes. We'll make sure everything exceeds your expectation. Our catering specialists can build custom platters like the bruschetta platter. Everything will look great and everyone will be satisfied. Nuke's Eatery. We cater, you party. In Dothan, 334 699-1667. Or in Montgomery, 334-414-1759.
Come discover a more familiar way of life in Pike Road.
Put it like right in front of your mouth. Okay, right there.
Build your dream home in nature without all the traffic. Located just minutes from the Pike Road Town Center, Publix, restaurants, and additional shopping, you won't have to go far for anything you might need. Hidden Oaks features incredible access to I-85 and Vaughn Road while still retaining its profound beauty and privacy. Auburn, Lake Martin, and downtown Montgomery are just a short drive away. With Site Pros getting the lots ready to build on, claim your spot now. To find out more about Hidden Oaks, go to hiddenoaksal.com.
It's year 7 of the Pig Enterprises Scoreboard Show. This is Doug Amos inviting you to join me and special guests each Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WTXK, ESPN The Ticket in the River Region. You can listen online as well on roundtablebroadcast.com. We'll have a great time on remote at different high school games and in the studio. It's going to be a great, great year. Follow all your high school football scores right here on ESPN The Ticket.
The Pike Road Patriot Fund's goal is to raise money to support arts and athletic programs at Pike Road School. Over $100,000 has been raised over the years, and the monies have contributed to almost every sport and student organization. Thanks to the people attending and sponsoring the annual Crawfish Boil, which makes it easier to provide much-needed support to teachers and coaches. Visit www.prpatriotfund.com for more information.
Sexton Tire Pros is home of the hassle-free guarantee. They make taking care of your tires simpler by offering a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and major brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. For whatever you drive, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Sexton Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. Find out more online at sextontirepros.com.
I hit a bump in the road, I got a nail in my tire. The muffler is loose, the steering no power. Sexton Tire Pros, we're one of the few where everything we do rotates around you. Sexton.
You're listening to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. To be part of the show, call 334-517-1210 or text the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now back to Coach Shook and Doug Amos.
Okay, so I admit, I have a confession to make. I think that Mac's description of all the injuries that he suffered during that accident that I probably never should have brought up got me off my game, and I forgot to ask him what he learned.
I forgot the helmet.
You did. So we're both
question.
in the same boat.
There you go.
We're both losers tonight, but you're the winner, I'm the loser. But I brought back Maxime, and I need to know one thing you learned today.
In my anatomy class, Miss Fuller's my teacher, I learned about the different tissues you have in your body. You have the muscle.
You've torn half of them. I guess you should know about it.
The muscle tissues, you have the epithelia, the connective, and the nerve tissues. Those are like your 4 main tissues in your body.
No.
Yeah, I think I've only got 2 of those.
You can only say words that Doug can spell.
That's exactly right.
Yes,
and you just
on this
didn't.
show. Yes.
But hey, you know what I like?
Yes.
The teacher shout out. He
That's
slipped
it.
that in. Did you
He
notice
did.
that?
He did.
Very well done. Hey, let's welcome in Jordan King, probably still getting fist bumps at school after that huge kickoff return last Friday night. Before we talk about the game last week and the game tomorrow night, tell me one thing, young man, you learned today.
In cybersecurity, I learned about different type of viruses and how they spread. A virus spreads by user errors, clicking on links you shouldn't click on, going to a website you shouldn't be on, and that can only spread by humans or users. But a worm, it can spread by just logging to a different account on a certain account. The virus is spread and then get there and mess up everything in your computer.
These guys are learning a lot.
They are.
Okay?
They are.
That's good stuff. So I thought we were talking about like people viruses. He was talking about computers.
Yes, cybersecurity.
So there we go.
Yep.
Cybersecurity is a big-time career going on these days.
Absolutely.
Mac, thank you, buddy. You're done. You can go enjoy some wings that I think are awaiting you over there. Jordan, you were very well spoken. I read the newspaper articles that interviewed you Friday night in Wetumpka about how this team was able to take control right before the half. And then how you kept the fire burning right at the beginning of the second half. Talk about how much those two scores changed the look of that game. It was a one-score game until those two things happened.
We just went to have the same way we came into the game. We still have to put a pedal to the floor. We can't let up because they're still playing. They're still trying to win. So we got to stay with the same mindset, do everything coach say, and buy in, and we'll come out with the win.
And Jordan, you knew that how explosive Wetumpka was. You know there was probably no number of points was enough points when you have a guy like they have taking every snap.
That's right. I mean, Pike Road, we were ahead 4 touchdowns going into the halftime last year.
They went ahead. It took a last-second touchdown from Pike Road to win.
That's right. So we knew the capabilities they had on offense. Extremely proud of Jordan and his leadership, and not only on offense in the special teams on the kick return, but he also made some clutch plays on defense as well. So extremely proud of Jordan and his efforts throughout the game. I know you referenced the drive right before halftime. Jordan helped propel that drive. He had the long reception on first down that got us across midfield.
Which is what Jimmy Perry was talking about.
Yes, it was a great ball from Kaysen. Jordan made a great catch, but Kaysen had great protection. Jordan executed extremely well, and we were able to get in great field position that gave us freedom on offense to really pick and choose what we wanted to do.
4 catches for 124 yards you had in the ball game. You mentioned it tonight, and you mentioned it to the newspaper folks on Friday, and that is about game plans that this coaching staff put out there for you guys, and it's trusting the process, right? It's believing in what they're telling you to get it done.
Yes, sir. Trusting the process, trusting your teammates, because I believe my line going to protect my quarterback. My quarterback going to make good throws, and if everybody stand to it, keep their head in the game, they will come out with a win every week.
Talk, if you would. You're a receiver, so you catch some of those balls. You got a freshman quarterback that was very effective Friday night. He doesn't look physically like a freshman at all. He's a pretty special guy, right, and has a really strong future ahead of him at Pike Road.
Yes, sir. We get a couple reps, a lot of reps at throwing and catching. He trusts all our receivers, and we trust him to make the good throw. We just run a route, so we're supposed to just do your job, and he's gonna.
You listed Jordan as an athlete
right.
when you're in. I was frequently called the same. What are you?
I don't doubt that, Doug.
What are you laughing at?
I don't doubt that.
Can you believe it? I would never call that. But tell me about that and what that means. I'm assuming it means that his athletic ability allows him to do a lot of different things on a football field.
Absolutely. Well, Jordan's able to line up for us in the slot or on the perimeter on offense, but he's also has the capability to return kicks, both punt and kickoff return. And then when we need him, he can line up at DB and cover some of the best receivers in 6A football. And so, again, I'm very proud of this young man and how he has matured into the role that Pike Road needs him to be.
And that's a two-way player,
It
right?
is a two-way player.
Yeah.
He has a very bright future. And so I know that, Jordan King has a lot of potential that I know he will meet. And so I'm excited to watch him grow into that role.
Jordan, thanks for coming, man. I love how you've handled yourself, not only here but the other night as well. Best of luck to you tomorrow night. Go get Lanier. What do you say?
Thank you.
You bet. That's Jordan King. Huge plays in the game the other night. All right, we want to go ahead and bring over Michael Jones. JaMichael Jones, where is he? Here he comes. Please don't run over me. Come and sit down. Let's have a nice talk. I'm on the good side of this whole thing. Put that headset on, if you would, buddy. And I told your coach, and put that right up by your mouth, that microphone.
Yes, sir.
I told your coach that I was walking back from my car. The game had already started, first half of the game, and I saw you running down the Pike Road sideline. Here you are, a sophomore in high school, playing your third game in 6A football, and you literally demolished some guy for Wetumpka. And that's when I knew how special a player you were and how much you're buying into the physicality part of this whole thing. Talk about that and how important it is for this team to continue in that growth in physicality.
It just starts off by practice, try to be the most physical person, just having mental toughness out there,
I threw you off. Tell me one thing you learned today, Jamichael.
One thing I learned that cation is a positive charged ion in biology class.
There, you were in biology today.
Yes, sir.
I'm not even sure what grade I was in. You're a sophomore. I think I was a senior when we took biology. So these guys are getting a lot smarter, Granger, than you and I got.
Yes, absolutely. There's no question about it.
Jamichael, talk about how this team is developing. Played 2 really tough teams in weeks 1 and 2. How did that, if at all, shake the confidence of this team? And now where is it now after a big region win?
I would say we come in very prepared every day now. Now that we see where we is and what we can be, we can be a real good team this season. So,
talk about this young man.
Yes.
He is in his first year at Pike Road. Talk about you, but yet you've known him previously. So talk a little bit about his development.
He is he's an ultimate competitor. He is very, very smart. He's a cerebral football player. He wants to know the whole picture. He doesn't just want to know what his role is. He wants to know the whole thing. And so he can be, and he is. He's a very good leader. Kids flock to him. He is going to be very special one day, and he already is, but he hasn't reached it yet. The capabilities he has. So I'm very, very excited that he is a Pike Road Patriot, along with Jordan, along with Mac, along with everybody else we've had on this broadcast. These guys are great ambassadors for our community and our football program. But Jamichael is one of those that people are going to have to load the box to stop, because it is very hard for one defender to stop. And that is going to open it up for Jordan King to make a one-on-one guy miss. That is going to open it up for other people to make plays. And so I'm very, very thankful to have Jamichael on our team, and Jordan and Mac. But, again, this team is going to continue to improve as the weeks go. We are a young team in some areas, and those areas have progressed a lot in 3 weeks.
So I want you to talk about this young man for a minute, about moving forward. If Jamichael really commits to continuing the growth, not only physically but emotionally, mentally, what it takes to play football at the highest of levels, I'm seeing this kid playing football for a number of years in the future.
Absolutely. He is. Me and him were talking about on the way here. He is gaining weight in the season, or staying. He's right at 190.
Yes, sir.
As a sophomore running back, and so if things keep progressing, he's going to be over 200 pounds.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Before his senior year.
You know more about frames and
yes.
what the proper weight is for a frame. I'm thinking 205, somewhere in there.
He will be there, and so he has grown this year already. His work ethic in the weight room is second to none. His work ethic at practice is second to none, and so he has a very, very bright future ahead.
How much does it benefit Jamichael to be playing against 6A competition and kind of seeing where he's at and what he needs to get better at? I always believe, Jamichael, that you get better by playing better people. You don't get better. Like, I was a basketball player in high school. It didn't do me any good to go play the 12 and under team at the Y. I needed to play teams with players that were as good or better than me to get better. There's truth in that.
Absolutely, and it's the same that you said about our schedule. We played two top 5 teams to start the season, and we knew we were a younger team in some areas, but our younger players like Jamichael have responded well, and there is visual improvement from week 1 to 2 and from 2 to 3, and so I expect for that to continue. Our practices, I think our players have responded well to. We've done a lot more full padded, good on good practices, and it's made us tougher physically. It's made us tougher mentally, and I just expect for Jamichael and our players to continue to progress as the year goes.
This Lanier team coming off a big win, Jamichael. They beat the former Jeff Davis High School by 5 touchdowns last Friday. That's going to be a challenge tomorrow night. I know you're excited about being back home and having the majority of the fans there pulling for your team.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about what you think it's going to take for Pike Road to play well and win tomorrow night.
It's going to take us a lot of mental toughness out there on the field. You know, we just got to do what we did like the last game, just come out ready and hot like we did. So.
Well, I really hope that you're always kind to me and that I never do anything to make you mad at me, okay?
That's all good.
If I ever do, just hit your coach, but don't come after me.
Why you got to bring me into this?
This guy looks like he's ready to go, man. I'm telling you. It's great meeting you, Jamichael.
Yes,
I've enjoyed watching you play, enjoyed how you played the game last Friday night against Wetumpka. That is Jamichael. This guy's a player. Jamichael Jones, a leading rusher on the Pike Road team. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our final break of the program. We're going to get back. Got another surprise. Maybe if somebody is in the house that wants to get in the quarterback club or should be getting in the quarterback club, Michael Hennig's over there.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'll do it before we go to break, all right? So I need everybody's attention. If you are here and you can hear me, I need everybody to hear me out here. The next person that joins the Pike Road Quarterback Club gets dinner for 2 at Saza's on me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dinner for 2 at Saza's in downtown Montgomery. Everything's paid for. Everything you could possibly eat or drink is paid for. All you have to do is tip. But literally, if somebody will join the quarterback club right here while Hennig's eating his dinner, and he can prove it to me, I'm going to give you a certificate that allows you to go to Saza's Great Italian in downtown Montgomery and enjoy it.
I don't know if Blake Smith heard you or he'd be in the front line right now.
Well,
he will be.
I'm not sure I can turn the speaker up anymore, but all you got to do is join the quarterback club and you're getting dinner for 2 at Saza's. We're back right after this to the market at John Hall Store. We so appreciate Grib and Isabel Anderson for opening their doors and their arms for our Patriot Talk program. We're back right after this on ESPN The Ticket.
107.5 is W298BC Montgomery. ESPN The Ticket.
Text me again, Grant did from
The Cuban. It's a sandwich with a rich culinary tradition. And at Nuke's, we don't mess with tradition. We just build upon it. Starting the new line pork tenderloin that's hand-rubbed with secret spices and brined to perfection. Then we layer on ham, Swiss, mustard, and pickles. No shortcuts, nothing pre-made. Just the perfect Cuban. As traditions go, it's a tasty one. Get the Cuban for a limited time at Nuke's Eatery.
Sexton Tire Pros is home of the hassle-free guarantee. They make taking care of your tires simpler, offering a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and major brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. For whatever you drive, Michelin is a tire to fit any need. Sexton Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. Find out more online at sextontirepros.com.
I hit a bump in the road, I got a nail in my tire. The muffler is loose, the steering no power. At Sexton Tire Pros, we're one of the few where everything we do rotates around you. Sexton.
The Pike Road Patriot Fund's goal is to raise money to support arts and athletic programs at Pike Road School. Over $100,000 has been raised over the years, and the monies have contributed to almost every sport and student organization. Thanks to the people attending and sponsoring the annual Crawfish Boil, which makes it easier to provide much-needed support to teachers and coaches. Visit www.prpatriotfund.com for more information.
Come discover a more familiar way of life in Pike Road's newest development, Hidden Oaks. Build your dream home in nature without all the traffic. Located just minutes from the Pike Road Town Center, Publix, restaurants, and additional shopping, you won't have to go far for anything you might need. Hidden Oaks features incredible access to I-85 and Vaughn Road while still retaining its profound beauty and privacy. Auburn, Lake Martin, and downtown Montgomery are just a short drive away. With Site Pros getting the lots ready to build on, claim your spot now. To find out more about Hidden Oaks, go to hiddenoaksal.com.
Fueled by the vision of 3 generations of leaders with backgrounds in engineering, construction, and finance, Halstead has left an indelible mark of quality on the retail and multifamily landscape throughout the Southeast for more than 70 years. Halstead has built a diversified real estate portfolio across 14 states, featuring some of the best-known name brands in America. Call Halstead Contractors at 334-288-2330. Halstead is a proud supporter of Pike Road Patriot football.
It's year 7 of the Pig Enterprises Scoreboard Show. This is Doug Amos inviting you to join me and special guests each Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WTXK, ESPN The Ticket in the River Region. You can listen online as well on roundtablebroadcast.com. We'll have a great time on remote at different high school games and in the studio. It's going to be a great, great year. Follow all your high school football scores right here on ESPN The Ticket.
Central Alabama's best sports can be heard on WTXK, Pike Road, Montgomery. ESPN The Ticket. You're listening to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. To be part of the show, call 334-517-1210 or text the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now back to Coach Shook and Doug Amos.
Well, Coach, let's talk about Lanier a little bit. This is a team that struggled in its opening game.
Like us.
But then just blasted Jeff Davis, or Jag now, that it's called. So what do you see on film? What do you need? You know, is it like 2 totally different deals from week 1 to week 2?
Well, they are very big up front on both sides of the ball. They have big play potential on the perimeter. They're very long, very athletic. They can run. You know, I like our matchups in certain areas, but it's going to take us having great focus. We're going to have great eye discipline in the secondary on defense. We're going to have to execute exceptionally well on offense to make sure that we do what we're supposed to do, you know, and so it's going to be a great test for us.
So help me out on this, because the next day I coach will be the first day that I coach. When you see a team on film like that, are you one of those coaches that know what you do well and you're still going to do it regardless of what the other team provides, or are you moldable to the point where you say, well, we got to do a little bit less of this and a little bit more than that, of that to beat a team like Lanier?
Well, I think we're a little bit of both. I think we did a great job this summer of packing our toolbox, so to speak, of different plays and different formations that we think our personnel can execute. But we're not naive enough to think that, you know, we have to bring different tweaks here and there based on who our opponent is. And so I think we're a little bit of both, and I think our players have responded well to that, and I think we'll continue to grow with that mindset.
I always do this, and you probably have grown to expect it as many years as we've done this together. Walk us through the timeline of tomorrow, what's going to be happening around the school, how's that all work since it's a home game?
It is.
You know, how does that all play out?
Well, we are going to show up at the bell, letting our players sleep in a little bit, and so we'll show up at the start of school tomorrow. We will have some last-minute walkthroughs and meetings, special teams meetings, and formation assignments in the morning during first and second period. They will then go, you know, to school, make sure they learn something. Mac, Jordan, and Jamichael make sure they learn something.
I was very impressed with those 3 tonight.
Absolutely. A lot of anatomy and biology questions that were answered tonight. So, but
kind of ironic that Mac was talking about tissues in the body when he's torn most of his.
Absolutely. Yes. But and then at the end of school, we'll have a pregame meal that our quarterback club graciously provides. Very, very grateful for
them. Do y'all do that at the school?
We do.
Okay.
In the cafeteria. And so our quarterback club will provide that meal, and then we'll go back to some last-minute, cramming sessions. When I was in high school and I had a test coming up, I'd usually crammed the night before. I don't know about you, Doug, but that was
exactly what you did at Huntington, too.
Yes. And so we are going to cram, some last-minute meetings right before kickoff. We do have youth night tomorrow night, so our youth cheerleaders, our youth football players, they will be on the field in our run-through line. And so excited to have the future of Pike Road on our field to experience that environment. I think it's going to be a really neat deal.
Don't you dress them out in the same type uniform, same logos and stuff?
We do.
As the hospital.
We do.
That's got to mean the world to those kids, because they think that they're wearing a uniform that they're going to be wearing in, 10 years or so.
Exactly. And I talk to our players daily. When those kids come on our field and they're getting ready for practice, I talk to our players about going and giving them high fives and telling them good job. And we go and talk to the coaches and tell them that we appreciate their time investing into the future of our program. So it's a neat deal.
What time's that start? Because I would encourage everybody that's going to be coming to the game to get there maybe a little bit early to honor these young people who, quite frankly, I'm just going to tell you, they're going to have butterflies. They're going to be nervous.
They will be nervous.
Being out on that field. So a little encouragement from the adults in the arena might be a good thing.
Absolutely. And so,
do you have any idea what time that's going to start?
I know traffic's tough getting in, so I would presume they need to get there at least 30 minutes before. I know we'll get off the field at 6:35. I think our young cheerleaders are doing a routine right as soon as we get off the field. And then the youth football players and young cheerleaders will get in the line right before kickoff and have us, enter the field.
Are these young people going to be in full dress, like the cheerleaders in their cheerleading outfits?
I'm not sure. I think some of them will be.
T-shirts and matching shorts and stuff.
Matching shorts, yes.
Probably the football team will be in some matching stuff.
And shirts,
I love this. Yes. I just love this. So that's going to happen sometime around 6:35. Kickoff at 7 o'clock.
Kickoff's at 7.
Again, gofan.co is how you can get your tickets in advance. If you want to have it digitally on your phone, that's good. That can be accepted right at the gate. If you want to just pay when you get there, you can do that too. But also, I just got out of a quick little meeting with Michael Hennick.
Right.
We got some special things we're going to be announcing at next week's Patriot Talk.
I like it.
In conjunction with the quarterback club for people that join the quarterback club. So you need to spread the word. Thanks to Ronnie Sexton for joining the quarterback club over a phone call to my number. So that cost him 28 cents. He needs to get that to me. But glad to have him join.
That's a wing, I think.
Yeah, that's a wing. But that we're going to do some things. Michael and some more of the quarterback club guys are going to really do some creative things to try to get this membership up, because as we've stated and as we both know, to win at this level, you better have support. And
you have to.
And I'm telling you, the support that comes from the ground up, the memberships, those little things really build the foundation in the right way for any program.
It does, and it takes guys like Zach and Brooks and Michael and, everybody on the quarterback club, Miss Lang and Maddie, and, I know Brian is here. There's just so many people that put in a lot of time and effort into this program.
Angie Bradsher, town councilwoman, just texted in, said, let's go Patriot Nation. We need to show up tomorrow night and be loud. Good luck, Coach Shook and the team.
Yes.
Always good to have support of the town, that is for sure.
Extremely thankful for Miss Bradsher and what she brings to the table. She is very, very influential in our community.
Thanks to everybody for coming out to Patriot Talk tonight out at the market at John Hall store. We'll be right back here in 1 week's time. Won't you make plans to be with us? Go Patriots, 7 o'clock tomorrow against Lanier. We may be talking about a big win again next Wednesday night. Hope you'll join us.